Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder why childhood is often called the most important period of our lives? And what happens when that safety net is ripped away by the demands of hard labor? Today we are looking at something heartbreaking but essential. The hidden struggle of over 160 million children around the world who are working instead of learning. That number is staggering. 79 million children are doing jobs that aren't just tiring, they are dangerous. We are talking about mining, working with chemicals, or carrying heavy loads. When we look at these statistics, it is easy to just get lost in the data. But the research we are diving into today reminds us that these are not just numbers on a page. Every single one of these children is a person with a unique story, a unique life, and an inherent worth that no statistic can fully capture. That is a powerful point for us to keep in mind. In psychology, we often look for the average, but when it comes to developing, feeling, and thinking children, the average doesn't tell us enough. To understand the impact of child labor, we have to look at the individual. Scientists have been studying how this struggle affects children, and the findings are quite eye-opening. We are seeing major impacts on their stress levels, their sense of self, and even their physical and mental safety. When a child is forced into a workplace, their childhood isn't just paused, it is often damaged. Researchers have identified that these kids struggle with things like anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. It makes total sense, right? If you miss out on play, school, and the normal social life that kids your age enjoy, you start to feel isolated. The researchers point out that this isn't just about feeling sad for a moment. It is deeper. It is about how a child views their own value and their place in the world. This is the big biological reality here. Think of it like this. Your brain has a gas pedal and a brake. The gas pedal is the part that seeks excitement, emotion, and rewards, and that part of the brain develops first during puberty. The brake is what we call the cognitive control system, the part that helps you think about consequences and control impulses. But that part is still under construction until your early 20s. When you stick an adolescent in a high-stress work environment, they don't have the fully developed brake system that an adult has. Their cognitive performance literally drops because their brain is overwhelmed by the stress. That circuit is basically the brain's headquarters for staying focused and making smart decisions. When it isn't working at full capacity due to extreme stress, the child isn't just tired, they are literally losing the ability to think through their problems effectively. It is a biological setup for failure. And let us be honest, there is a giant gap between a 13-year-old who looks tall and strong and a person who is actually ready for the mental and physical burden of adult work. Just because someone has the size doesn't mean they have the brain maturation of a grown-up. So where does that leave us? The study of behavior science shows that we can't just fix this with one simple solution. It requires a shift in how we handle poverty through better jobs for parents and how we view the value of education for the kids. It means realizing that when we see these numbers, we actually have a responsibility. We can either look away or we can understand that society only thrives when all of its members have the space to grow. I think the biggest takeaway from all this research is that responsibility isn't just a heavy word for lawmakers to use. It is a daily practice for all of us. When policy moves toward letting kids work longer hours or take on dangerous tasks, we are ignoring the basic science of how a human brain develops. It is not helping them grow up faster, it is just limiting their future. We need to be the ones who advocate for that space where children are allowed to be children. What do you think? Can we really reach those big global goals if we don't start by protecting the most vulnerable among us? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another deep dive into the human mind. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.